Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 212.
212.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. They are Disney specialists, but they can book anything you need around the world, which is pretty awesome. And they will try, let's say you're wanting a Walt Disney World vacation. We're talking all about Walt Disney World today.
That's right.
They can secure, or at least try to secure the best price for your trip.
And river cruises, we found out.
They can do all kinds of stuff.
And
the allears.net free weekly newsletter. I did mention it's free, and all you have to do is go to their site and subscribe. Over 900 issues, so there's a lot to read if you want to go back. And in this week's articles, Deb Coma takes a look ahead at 2017, and they have more information on Epcot's new International Festival of the Arts. We're talking about that a little bit today, and they will be covering the first weekend of the event, and you get a little pixie dust to your mailbox every week.
That's right. Check out the show notes for all the information on how to subscribe.
So we are starting off on New Year's Eve, and originally we were planning to go to the Magic Kingdom and see some of the, I want to see the parade and the totally Tomorrowland Christmas again, but it ended up where we were like, let's go to Disney Springs. Yes. Downtown Disney Springs.
It looked really nutty at the Kingdom, and we wanted to sort of relax. So we decided this is how we wanted to spend our New Year's Eve, and that's the view we had outside. Beautiful day at the Boathouse.
Well, I've been kind of wanting to get back to the Boathouse for a while, so it was actually really nice. I made a reservation online a couple hours earlier.
On New Year's Eve.
On New Year's Eve, and New Year's Eve was not too busy at Disney Springs. It wasn't empty, but it
got busy towards the evening, right when we decided to get out of there. And there's the bread. We don't want to miss the wonderful bread.
I like their bread. That's one of my favorite things at the Boathouse. I mean, I like a lot of things there, but the bread is always very consistent. And we split a Caesar salad. They used to have two different sizes. Now they just have the one size, so we split that.
But they're always really good with it. See how they bring it with 2 plates? Yes. I did not ask for 2 plates, but they just knew. We said we're going to share a Caesar salad, and there you go. So I kind of like that.
Well, we've never had less than excellent service here. And I ended up getting the filet mignon sliders, which are still $14. They're a little smaller than they used to be. I've noticed that the last couple of visits, but still, it's filet, so it's okay.
And there is no problem substituting your new potatoes for the fries.
Well, I substituted the fries for the new potatoes. I got the new potatoes.
That's what I meant to say.
Yes, I knew what you meant.
But anyway, there are the fries. I did indeed get the fries. I had the special of the day, the mahi sandwich, which was wonderful. I would absolutely get that again. Nothing super fancy or anything, just a really nice lunch/dinner at the Boathouse.
Well, I always like to go there. So we've shown the Boathouse previously. It's been a while. But this really is, as far as service and food, one of the most consistent, maybe the most consistent restaurant we've been to at Disney Springs.
And certainly a relaxing atmosphere to be outside. It was a beautiful day, and we always walk around and look at the boats after. The boat's a very nice display out there.
And we saw a lot of water taxis. And there is one of the amphicars. Actually, that's what they're called, is an amphicar. Mm-hmm. And those were out and about. They used to not seem to be out and about as often. I mean, it does cost money, but they become really popular.
Do you think it was because it was New Year's Eve? People were doing a little splurge, taking them out?
Yeah, but I've also seen them out more than ever, not on New Year's Eve as well.
So even the boats had a little leftover Christmas decoration you can see there?
I really enjoy this. It's sort of like a museum. It's like a little boat museum display, and you get to see all kinds of different boats, which I really enjoy. And look at the weather. The weather was like perfect.
Right. Well, I think that was part of it. Why be running around in super big crowd to the Magic Kingdom when you could be out here? Anyway, there were other things going on, though, at Disney Springs. We checked out the very latest construction of the Edison.
And the Edison Disney Springs, it was supposed to open this year, but just like pretty much everything else, it gets delayed and delayed. But it's supposed to open this spring. I think that probably will mean summer or so. I don't know if it looks like it's quite ready for spring yet. But it is an industrial Gothic restaurant. Its sister location is in Los Angeles. And as we've mentioned before, contortionists, palm readers, and DJs. So I don't know how that will go. But
that's just what I want to see. Contortionists, palm readers, and DJs. What a combination.
And it's themed to a 1920s electric company. Now, the Paddlefish, that is really getting closer. It's supposed to open this month. It looks like, I don't know, it could open this month, and that was supposed to open in the fall, and hopefully we're looking in the next few weeks. And they received a full stem to stern refurbishment. And this used to be Fulton's Crab House.
Before that, it was Empress Lily's when they had the full-size big giant wheel on the back. And this really looks like something you'd see at a Steamboat Willie, almost like a giant version of what's in Fantasmic here in Florida.
Interesting. I hadn't thought of that. So anyway, they're going to have fresh seafood and steaks and other items on the menu. So we're looking forward to that. And there's the paddle wheel.
And I'm looking forward to it too. You know, when Fulton's was there, they had removed the paddle wheel, the big paddle wheel from Empress Lily, and also they removed the smokestack. So having all that back already is great, but I can't wait to try out the food.
I totally agree. And again, I think by February, I think we're looking at that certainly. So very exciting, and there is characters in flight. And
more changes, yes, more changes. The characters in flight. You'll notice the big tower that had the little balloon on the top. It was like a blue tower. No more for now.
Well, I was going to say I didn't notice it. Jeff noticed it. I would have never noticed it for some reason, even though I see it all the time.
You know why I noticed it? Because I would always start off my characters in flight video by showing that tower. Otherwise, I'd probably not notice. I've taken the picture
so many times, but they're going to be closed from January 9th through 13th. Just a very, very short refurbishment to have a new look themed to Disney Springs, and it's scheduled to reopen on the 14th, so very quick.
Well, I can't wait to see what the new design will be. The old balloon was fading anyway, so I welcome it. I cannot wait.
Well, it looked like the one from Disneyland Paris quite a bit, so it'll be interesting to see if they go with really a new design. Too much. So we'll see. And here is Planet Hollywood. It's going to be the Planet Hollywood Observatory. They've changed their dates quite a few times. I believe it still says that it's going to open like next week, but it won't.
Opening soon.
I think we're looking in the next few weeks here as well. They're very close, but not. I think they're just having a job fair now, so that's
a good sign.
It's a good sign, but they're not opening next week because they still have to hire people. So, but I think maybe for the beginning of February, maybe even late January.
I'm looking forward to this. The Stargazers Bar. Sit outside, try some of their concoctions.
And Guy Fieri has designed part of the menu and his burgers and sandwiches. So I don't know if it will be like Jeff's looking at me like
Guy's Burger. Could it be? It truly could be a Guy's Burger.
Like Carnival.
I would go there all the time if it was a Guy's Burger like on Carnival.
I wouldn't expect it to be exactly the same, but he makes fantastic burgers on Carnival.
Not to mention, I hear the Captain Crunch Chicken will be making a return appearance. So I guess that's a staple of all the Planet Hollywoods.
Well, some of the old items are going. Some of the favorites will still be there, so that's really great. And here's the Coca-Cola store. We spent the evening, or part of our evening, up on the roof there.
One thing we want to mention as you go into Disney Springs, no fireworks. All these signs that say no fireworks. So while we're sitting up at the bar at the Coke store, we noticed some no fireworks going on off in the distance.
There's no fireworks at Disney Springs because Disney themselves... I think it's on the Mom's panel on their website said there would be fireworks there, so they had to kind of...
That was oops, maybe.
Yes, they had to make sure, I think, that everybody knew there weren't going to be any, but we still watch them. You could see them over the parking garage from our spot where we were sitting at the Coca-Cola store.
And to be honest, you could see those every night because those are the Epcot Illuminations fireworks, and we've seen them before from there.
So we went up there. We were just going to get like a soda and then watch the fireworks and maybe Starbright Holidays, which we did see. That's the drone show. And instead we found out that they had like new cocktails and
such.
It
was a tremendous discovery. Now, it was not the first time I had a specialty Beverly beverage. The new cocktail is Beverly's Revenge. We'll talk about that in a minute. What you're seeing here, though, is a Haagen-Dazs Beverly Float, which I ordered the very first day. The first float they ever sold, actually, was to me.
But this is the first drink. Like you could ask for Beverly in a float, but here they actually have Beverly's Revenge, which is a alcoholic drink.
And it is tremendous. Why don't you tell us what is in that drink?
Hendrick's Gin, Salerno Blood Orange Liqueur, and Beverly. So the interesting thing about it is I hate Beverly, but yet I can actually drink it. I don't love it, but I like Blood Orange, so I think the two other items kind of neutralize the Beverly.
Neutralize? Yes. Enhance the goodness. Enhance the goodness. No neutralization. You actually went and had 3 sips without me asking you. I counted.
Well, really
That's
2.
An unbelievable item for Beverly.
And we ended up also getting the signature flight, and it's not cheap. These aren't like cheap
New Year's
drinks.
Eve.
Yes, it was New Year's Eve, so dinner and drinks cost us less than $100.
Yes.
We had the signature flight. It has margarita, cherry Coke Ripper, strawberry mojito, and Beverly's Revenge. Supposedly they're 7 ounces with an ounce of alcohol each.
It was your idea, actually, to get this float, but I wasn't going to...
The flight.
Or the flight. Mm-hmm. But I certainly was not going to argue when I realized a Beverly's Revenge was part of it.
Well, I figured you might want another one, and then I wouldn't have had the regular flight because there was nothing in it I would drink. I don't drink Coke, so... but I will drink a margarita or a mojito.
So thumbs up for all of that. I thoroughly enjoyed
it.
Great,
we've sent so many people to get Beverly's Revenges now. Like everybody's getting a Beverly's Revenge.
And we finally saw the drone show from up at the Coke bar. Really, probably the best place that we've seen it from this season. We've seen it from various different places.
Well, tomorrow, January 8th, is the last day of Starbright Holidays. And also anything else holiday-ish down at Disney Springs. And there are 300 show drones.
Show drones. Yes, correct.
In this. And they make not a lot of shapes. Like you get 2 or 3 shapes out of the 5-minute show.
You definitely get the tree. You can see the Christmas tree, and you can see this dove here. The dove is quite clear.
And it really is a terrific view. I think it's way better from the Coke store up above than it is from on the ground.
I really like this show. It's a very short. It's only about 5 minutes. But, it's for this technology, it's just amazing. It appears out of nowhere. And again, I know this isn't the most drawn out show, but I think this is just the tip of the iceberg of what that technology, what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. And here, I guess you got some of the crowd. It's getting busier at night.
This was our cue to maybe go home on New Year's Eve, as it was getting kind of crowded.
I never felt it was too crazy. I like this performer.
Strolling piano.
I love that. I've never seen it, and apparently she's there like a number of evenings a week. We don't usually go in the evening to Disney Springs.
Anyway, what do you think? I give it a thumb up. I had a great time New Year's Eve at Disney Springs. Well, if you liked it, that's 2 thumbs up. I can only put 1 thumb in.
I loved it. I'm glad we didn't go to the Magic Kingdom because that was nutty, and I had a very nice dinner and drinks.
2 thumbs up for Disney Springs on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Let's talk about Epcot. Tell us all about the Festival of the Arts coming soon.
Well, this is going to be kind of sandwiched in between Christmas and the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, which will start taking shape also during the Epcot Festival of the Arts.
You're looking at some of the food booths that are already up. We just went to Epcot and already getting ready.
Well, it's next week, January 13th through February 20th. And it's on weekends, which they count as Friday through Monday. So just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are not included. But they will have food booths, of course, because pretty much Epcot is a festival center all year round, just about now, with food booths. But they also will have a Disney on Broadway concert series. So it's concerts, it's not Broadway shows. They're going to have a scavenger hunt. I don't know if it's going to be Figment's Brush with the Masters.
Oh boy, I can't wait for that.
So I don't know if it will be like what they do during the other festivals. We'll see. But chalk art, living statues, again, the food and stuff. So it should be really fun.
I am really looking forward to this.
At first I was like, another food festival. But I think that there's going to be a lot of fun to it.
Even some of the classes I would not mind signing up for. I think they're being held in the Odyssey.
Well, there's a bunch that I'm interested in. I mean, they have a gesture drawing class, watercolors, floral arrangements, and many more just over the 6-week period. And those cost $39 plus tax. And then pass holders and DVC get 15% off. And I think you have to call WDW Tour to book them. I'm not sure if you can book them online.
I will be calling after this show. I definitely want to do the ink and paint one. That sounds really cool.
It's like a cell, like you're doing a cell. I think that would be fun.
So anyway, can't wait. We'll have full coverage of that. We'll be there opening day on the 13th, I think.
That is it.
So anyway, it's kind of a slow week, not a lot going on. So we're going back to one of our old favorites, the vintage segment here, and what you're looking at is Disney's California Adventure. Back opening year, this was 2001, and we're going to talk about Superstar Limo, a very short-lived attraction there at California Adventure, and it closed almost exactly 15 years ago from today. I think it closed in...
It says January 11th.
January 11th, okay.
2002, and it was Disney's California Adventure back then. They took away the S a few years ago, so changed that name, not by much. And I don't remember it a lot, except I'm surprised it was less than a year because I did ride it a bunch of times. And I didn't think it was as bad as what everybody thought. It was like online, like everybody was saying how great Soarin' was and how bad Superstar Limo was. So when I made my way there in November of 2001, it was like, well, Soarin's good, but it isn't quite the best thing since sliced bread. And then I actually thought Superstar Limo was a lot of fun.
Well, this area is very familiar somehow.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Rock and Roller Coaster, just with, kind of the freeway and everything.
Which is also an attraction that sort of has celebrities. They have Aerosmith, the rock band. So always risky when you have celebrities as part of your attraction. You just never know how it's going to work out.
Well,
you had Captain EO, which ended up having to close. But this, a lot of these celebrities are still going strong.
Well, it's not only that, but like if you go to Ellen's Universe of Energy, her and who was the other?
Bill Nye, the science guy.
For some reason, I couldn't think of his name. We don't go in there very often anymore. But they look so young now. So, I think it's fair to not use celebrities quite as much. But here they're using them more as caricatures as opposed to the actual celebrity.
Well, that was Melanie
and
Griffith.
Antonio,
Yep. And Cindy Crawford, I believe.
Yep.
So it's quite interesting.
And a lot of them still are pretty major celebrities, actually.
And just in case people don't know, and there's Tim Allen right there, still a major celebrity, this ride was redone.
Right, it's Monsters, Inc., Mike and Sully to the rescue. And it took them a little while. When this closed, it was 2002, and then the Monsters, Inc. ride opened about 4 years later. So it wasn't fast, that's for sure. And they're not fancy dark rides or anything, but again, I actually kind of like Superstar Limo better than Monsters, Inc. for some reason. Although, obviously, I like the characters, and
and
the
there
monsters.
is Drew Carey, who's now in The Price is Right, right?
So,
this is not the only short-lived Disney's California Adventure. They had the Soap Opera Bistro, which was a restaurant that has now been turned into where Disney Junior is. I actually ate there, and it was very interesting. You were part of the soap opera, so you were. It was one of those participation type places. So
I don't like that.
I don't think you would have.
No, I wouldn't have liked that.
So, and there's other very famous short-lived attractions, like here at Walt Disney World. Remember Stitch's Supersonic Celebration?
Well, that was for about 6 weeks. The one good thing that came out of it was a Totally Tomorrowland Christmas. But Stitch's Supersonic Celebration was one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
So in case people haven't figured it out yet, why don't you tell us the purpose, the story of the ride?
Well, you're supposed to be the celebrity, and it reminds me also of Rock and Roller Coaster in the sense that, again, well, you're not the celebrity in Rock and Roller Coaster, but you are being taken to a premiere, which is what you're being taken to here. So I think you land at the airport.
But it's your premiere here. Is that not right? You are having the premiere.
In this case, you are like the star, and you are the newest star, and you are landing at the airport, and then they are taking you. There's Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
I believe at this point we're
arriving
to the Chinese theater, and you're going through all these, again, like Rock and Roller Coaster. You're going
Beverly
through
Hills,
all
Bel
types
Air.
of places that you may recognize, and then you end up at the premiere.
And then it's over. And here you go. It's almost like I'm looking to see Roz berating me like we would see in the Monsters ride.
One.
Yes, so it's a little different in that respect.
So this was, I guess, like when you put the video up a day or two ago, everybody's kind of like, although every now and then somebody will say they kind of enjoyed it. And for me, I think I had heard so many bad things about it back then that I was like ready to hate it, and I got on it. And, it exceeded my expectations. When somebody says something's really horrible, it was like, this isn't bad. So then I kept going on it.
Well, I'm sure that's what they were going for. But anyway, sometimes it's really nice to look back at the past. And I can't believe 15 years, almost to the day that this closed.
I know. I can't believe it.
So anyway, thanks again. That's another show. Thanks to our sponsors, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
We have the Epcot Festival of the Arts and then the Flower and Garden Festival coming up. So this is a great time to book your travel for spring.
And also the allears.net newsletter. Lots of great information. Plenty of information about the Epcot Festival as well.
Check out our show notes to sign up. Again, it's free.
Thanks again for listening, everybody. We'll have another big Disney show coming up next week. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Happy New Year. Have a great week.
I forgot to say that.
Yes.
Happy New Year, everybody.